Greetings. Just some food for thought. I was speaking to somebody recently and they were telling me about a professional. This is actually an individual, a Caucasian male, highly qualified according to their institutions. He's a doctor, just like I am. And he was explaining to her the reason why Haiti, and these are the predominantly black countries, were in the situation they're in currently. And his reasoning, which is the reason of a lot of white people who've been indoctrinated and falsely educated into thinking that the white gene is superior. They're suffering because they got rid of the European influence. So Haiti's current situation is as a consequence of them, as a result of them getting rid of the French. And most of the African countries is because they got rid of their colonizers. It's kind of weird that intelligent people seem to believe this bullcrap. But let me break it down for you. Number one, you cannot have the most recessive DNA on the planet and think you're superior in any way, shape, and form. And the only reason why the illusion of white supremacy is there is because they have literally bombed everyone back into the Stone Age, and the others, they have literally put the fear of God in them. So you have a lot of countries who are on tiptoes because they do not want to offend these white people who have proven themselves to be nothing more than heartless, soulless, ruthless individuals. And that is their only stronghold on the human mind. That a lot of people refuse to do anything because they know America and the UK and them gonna bomb them back into the Stone Ages. And that's all there is to it. There's absolutely nothing superior about the white gene. The black DNA, the African DNA, is precisely the San people have the oldest and most diverse DNA on our planet. In other words, their DNA can actually give rise to every single phenotype, meaning every single physical appearance of the human species we see today. Only the African DNA has that power. So for a white man who is the ultimate, the last evolved from our DNA, to come out as DNA recessive and somehow be convinced and convince others that they are superior intellectually proves their inferior mentality and their inferior way of thinking. Because if they were following reality, if they were following fact, if they're following scientific, tangible reality, you cannot be superior intellectually if your DNA is inferior. The only way they can maintain the illusion of a superior intellect is by constantly bombing and destroying and terrorizing and traumatizing non-white nations, which is what they do. And in their own nations where there are black populations, they find ways according to their laws to maintain high prison populations, primarily of non-white peoples. That is how the illusion of white supremacy is maintained. White supremacy is actually an oxymoron. You cannot be superior if your DNA is the most recessive. That is not my saying, that is fact. This is actual, realistic, tangible, scientific, whatever fact. The superior DNA on the planet belongs to the African, but it is not allowed to be developed because of the environment that the white devils have created for the black man. Every non-white nation on this planet is subject to the atrocities of the white man. This isn't my saying, this is reality. Look around you. Look at who bombs nations. Look at who funds nations and rebels to destroy their own nations. Look at who supplies weapons to rebels of nations that have great potential. But they are constantly in turmoil because the white man wants to pretend to be superior and bringing his intellectual supremacy to the fore by providing you with a solution to your problem. Example number one, the Taliban, Afghanistan. And if you look up Al-Jazeera.com or just Google Taliban oil, you'll probably have a clearer picture of what I'm saying. Afghanistan is geologically the richest area in that region. If they are allowed to develop, they will be more advanced. They will supersede a lot of non-white nations, of white nations, sorry. But the white man cannot allow that if he's teaching white supremacy. So Afghanistan has to be kept back. Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Libya, you name it. They have been constantly bombing them. Look at Syria. Already America's allies, note, only America's allies, England and France, have irrefutable evidence that Assad used chemical weapons on his people. Russia, Assad's allies, is calling for an independent investigation. Think about that. America's allies already justify America's actions, while Syria's allies are calling for an independent investigation. Now you use your own rationale to tell me who is guilty in this situation, and that is the modus operandi of the white man. They are so ruthless, they attack and destroy, they own for wealth, as is the case of the Jews and the Nazi war machine that was funded by America. You had Nazis driving Ford trucks and drinking Pepsi Cola while killing Jews, but now America's primary allies of the Jews and Israel. So it was just a way to call out and wean out some of their own population so that the smaller number could have the wealth, spread it around a little bit amongst the small group, invest it to where they are today now, controlling Israel. As a group of refugees on squatter land, they now want the entire West Bank. They now want access to waters in North Africa. They want to be able to sail around Egypt and drop bombs for the other island, because that is their mission. Destabilize, destroy, bomb other people back into the Stone Ages so that they can create the illusion of having the intellectual superiority and the intellectual advancement others do not have. You cannot be superior if you have the most inferior DNA on the planet. Point blank, period. And if you want to prove me wrong, allow non-white nations the same privileges you allow white nations, the same peace and tranquility and trade deals. Allow them to be settled, to relax. Allow them to advance and develop like normal nations. Give them another 20, 30 years and then come back and tell me the same thing. But they will not do that. They will not allow black wealthy nations with resources to develop themselves. They find ways to buy their resources at dirt cheap prices so that they can add value to them again to create the illusion of superiority. And why these nations sell them their raw material is because they have been bombed so much that they have not been able to develop the infrastructure and the technology necessary for exploiting those resources. So again, the illusion of the superior white mind is nurtured. The white man is not superior to the black man. You will be intellectually defunct to believe that someone who possesses the most recessive DNA in our human species somehow happens to have the most superior intellectual capabilities. That doesn't make sense. Now think about it and wake up, wise up, and rise up.